Okay, we're going to finish up on our practice test. We finished with 43. We're going to start at 44 on page 289. This one I really wanted to cover with you because it's solved different ways. It's wanting you to find, it shows the scale drawing. This is important right here, okay? I want you to go ahead and change all of these into the proper measurements. We're going to want it in meters. So what you're going to need to do is 5 times 2.5. Okay, and once you do that, you're going to get this length is now 12.5 meters. And if you multiply 2 times 2.5, this becomes 5 meters. Over here, it's 5 centimeters. So again, we're going to have the, it's going to be 12.5 because we've already done that. We've already changed it. Then we have 1, so 1 times 2.5 is 2.5. And then we have
excuse this interruption. Ms.
5
Logan,
again.
Ms. Carpenter, and Mr. Spitz are the next 3 winners of our teacher appreciation treats. So please come by the office and get your treat because we appreciate you.
So now we're all in meters. If you do not do that, you're going to get confused. Okay, your next step, how are you gonna break this up where you can have the figures to find out for the area? Because that's what we're wanting, total area. Okay, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can draw a line right there, and you will have a rectangle at the bottom, and this would be a rectangle. So this would be length, or what's the proper base times height? Okay, so that's going to be 12.5 times 5, and that takes care of this one right here. But for this one is a it's a trapezoid. Okay, you've got the parallel bases here, and this is your height. And remember, if you look on your area for a trapezoid, is right here. And it says 1/2, but remember that's also B1 plus B2 height divided by 2. Okay, it's the same formula. So let's write the formula here. Base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. So since we've already converted it to meters, let's go ahead and solve the formula. So base 1, now we're looking at this top one right here. So this line that we drew is the same length as this bottom one. So it's 12.5 plus, remember it is adding your second base, 2.5, and your height, now this is where it might get a little tricky. Your height is right here. This is your height. We've already counted this height on this figure. So if we know that this right here is 2, and we know the whole line's 5, this would make it 3. But we haven't converted that over yet. So what is 3 times 2.5? So let's do that up here. 3 times 2.5. And that's going to be 7.5. So your height here is 7.5, and then divide it by 2. You can use the calculator for it. I don't care. I believe you get this. And then I believe put them together because we have to add these together. So let's go 112.5 divided by 2. That's going to give us 56.25. And remember, our rectangle over here was 12.5 times 5. So that one's going to be 62.5. So to get the total area, you would need to do 56.25 plus 62.5. And that should give you a total of 118.75. Make sure when you're using the griddable, you find your decimal and you place your 75, and it's 811. Now, are there more ways to solve this? Yes. But that one gives me only 2 figures to solve for. The rest would give me 3. Whatever you're comfortable with, just find the area of it. And we should all get the same answer. Okay, number 45. For an experiment, a penny is tossed. At the same time, the spinner below is spun. Use this information for questions 45 and 46. The penny can land on either heads or tails, while the spinner can land on red, yellow, green, blue, which the sample space is experiment. Which is the sample space of the experiment? So we can do heads or tails, and then we have red, yellow, blue, green. So I have 2 chances here. I have 4 chances here. 2 times 4 is 8 chances. Which one of these has 8 chances? It's going to be C. You can handwrite all of this out and do the tree diagram like heads and tails and then go. But heads can go to red, yellow, blue, or green. Red, yellow, blue, or green. You still come up with the same. Okay? Now then, 46, which is the theoretical probability of tossing heads and spinning green as its experiment. Theoretically. Okay, remember, this was your experimental. If you experimented it, that was our sample space. The difference between theoretical and experimental. Experimental is you actually do it. So it may not be the same as your theoretical because this is in theory. In theory, what are your chances of tossing a heads, 1 out of 2, and spinning green on this experiment? Well, how many greens do we have? We have 1 green out of how many? 6. This is in theory. This is theory. The experiment would be us actually doing it. So multiply across, and in theory, you would have 1/12 chances. Okay, number 47. Figure A, B, C, D, E, F is symmetric about the line through vertices C and F. Here's your key word. They are symmetric. They are the exact same size, same shape. Okay, we just folded it in the middle. Okay, so we want to find out what is the value for its area. Okay, so if it's symmetrical, we know that this is 2.1 inches. This one is 2.1 inches. And this one down here is 5.6 inches. And we're wanting to find the area. So we could use the other formula that we just used. Or we can cut it a different way. okay? So it's up to you. We can still use for this one it would be base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. But then you'd have to multiply it by 2 because there's 2 of them. And we still need to know what this size is. So if we cut it, if I drew a little line right here, and I know that this right here would be 2.1, what would be this part of the line? We would have to subtract 2.1 from 5.6. And that would give us this side right here. And if we know that side, we also know this side. So, depends on which formula you want to use. We can do this is a triangle and this is a triangle, or we can use this and multiply it twice. But either way, you would have to find out what that is. So they were wanting you to problem solve and figure out what this side was measuring. And you had to know this side right here was 2.1. Subtract it from 5.6. So I would just go with my 2 rectangles. So 2.1 times 3.5 takes care of the area for this one. And then for the bottom one, you're going to add 5.6 times 2.1. And that should give you the area. So some of these just determines on how you want to break them up to do what formula and what shape you make. But the test was actually, could you find that right there? So 2.1 times 3.5 is going to give you 7.35. And then 5.6 times 2.1 will give you 1176. Add those together, you're going to get 1911. Answer is B. Okay, a circle has a circumference of. It's giving you the circumference. So circumference equals pi diameter, or circumference equals pi r squared. But it's giving us the circumference. Round to the nearest tenth, which is the length of the diameter. Okay, we want to use this one. Let's cross that one out because they're wanting us to find diameter. The circumference is 17.2 equals 3.14 D. We're solving for D. Divide 3.14 to get it off of D. And you should have 547. And it says round to the nearest tenth. It's going to be 5.5. Okay, 49. Which problem cannot be modeled by the equation 11,000 subtract 250x equals 0? Keyword, cannot. Okay, an airplane coming in for landing from 11,000 feet descends 1,000 feet every 4 minutes. How many minutes will it take for the airplane to land? Okay. Hold on for 1 second. Now think about it. They're not using the same numbers, but it said for 4 minutes. So if we plugged 4 in for x, would that be true? It would be. If you multiplied 250 by 4, you're going to get 1,000 feet. So they just tried to trick you here on your terminology here, minutes. And it works, so it's not our answer. B, a tank contains 11,000 liters of liquid. Okay, there's our starting. It is emptied, it's subtracted, at the constant rate of 250 liters per hour. How long does the process take? That works. C, rooms at a 5-star hotel cost about $250 per night. What is the maximum the hotel can earn in one night if there are 110 rooms? That one really does not work. Okay, D, a truck traveling over rough terrain gets 1 kilometer closer to its destination every 4 minutes. If the truck is initially 11 kilometers away, how many minutes will it take to reach its destination? Okay, that one is pretty good too. So our best bet is to go with C. Number 50. Kevin has a yearly income of $68,280. His total state and federal income tax for the year is $12,048. What is his monthly income? Okay, yearly, $68,280. Federal income tax, they already gave it to us. We did not have to figure that one out. And that would be, and then we want the monthly, so we need to divide that by 12, and you should get 46.86. So make sure you're filling in the correct place value. There's your decimal. If you want to, put your extra zeros there. Okay, make sure you have the proper placement. I'm trying to hurry the bell to ring. 51. Which is the better deal for the new phone? Okay, so the rebate is, and a rebate is you just get the money back. So this one's going to be costing you $14. This one is 25% off, so $149 times 0.25 is going to be $37.25. Okay, this is your discount. This is discount. The percentage off. Now you have to take 149 and subtract 37.25. And it's going to cost you $111. This is your better deal. So it is B. And then if you subtract the difference, you will get your answer. Okay? Skip that one. Let's get to the back two really quick. These two are just figuring out. Okay, it's going to start here. At least means less than, equal to 160. Each floor will be this, so that'll be 2.25x. Now then, once you make your notes, go look at your formulas. Go see which one it is. Number one, it's got to be greater than or equal to. These two are not. Then we're here. Are we going to have the x? Because it says each floor above will be, so your x is going to be at 2.25 meters. So your answer is B. 54, the initial mass of salt solution is, this is your start, 3 grams of salt per minute. So your 3 is going to be on your X. And it stops when the mass of the solution reaches. Okay? So that's going to be equal to 1,045. So let's compare this to our formulas. You start here, and he adds. Okay? So your answer is H. Have a great weekend. Good luck on your STAAR.